Hi guys, today I thought we'd go check out another garden center. We've had some pretty erratic weather this season. We've gotten a ton of rain, which is fantastic because this time last year we were in a drought and we were out every day lugging hoses around trying to get everything watered in. This year we can't seem to get enough rain. It is just raining every day, usually like late afternoon. Once that heat and humidity pressure builds up, it's like a pressure cooker, and around 4 or 5 o'clock, it kind of just pops and explodes and we get this deluge rain and it just soaks everything into the ground. It's wonderful, but it does bring along a lot of extra heat and humidity. So it's not super fun to be working in the garden in that weather. It's a little bit suffocating, exhausting, and even the simplest tasks, you end up just being totally wiped out. So today, I thought it would be fun to go check out another garden center, kind of just walk around, see what this place has to offer, and get some motivation, inspiration for something new. Plus, it's also nice to see what products and what plants other garden centers carry. So yeah, we're all loaded up in the Jeep and ready to go. I've got my bag of camera equipment, sunglasses because it's a beautiful sunny day. And yes, in the back seat, we've got bags of mulch and potting soil just hanging out. They're gonna come along with us today. All right, guys, let's hit the road. All right, guys, we are here. We are at Meadow Farms Nurseries in Burtonsville, Maryland. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, here we go. We're walking right into the main entrance. And I think what I want to do is just start on the right-hand side, go all the way to the back, and we'll just work our way all the way to the shade house and the greenhouse over here. But if I just do a quick pan over here, you can see the scale of this place. It is huge, and they are packed full of gorgeous plants and trees. I'm actually really excited. I haven't been here in a while, so their inventory is all new to me. This is the place where, if you remember last year when we did the ground covers video, I told you I went to a nursery that was closing out. It was one of their locations in Germantown, Maryland. They shut that one down, but it was Meadow Farms. That's where I got all of those gorgeous ground covers. So I don't know, maybe we'll find some more. All right, so we're gonna start right over here. I'm literally in the back of the lot where all of the trees are. We'll start here, just walk around and make our way back towards the front. The parking lot is seeing a lot of action too today because they've got a Georgia peach truck out front and they're just selling Georgia peaches. So we might have to get some. Okay, so we are at the way back of the nursery and we're gonna start in with our trees. Look at these beautiful crepe myrtles. I love these. Look at this. Look at the blooms on this. It's this beautiful coral pink. I would love to have one of these in our house. We have the bright red ones that my mom loved. Which one is this? Let's take a look real quick. Crepe myrtle Tuscarora. Ooh, 30 gallon. That's a big boy. But they've just got so many just lined up, rows and rows. Doesn't that look familiar? This is what is in our front yard. And this is what I mean. It's a beautiful, gorgeous red, but it is huge. It's actually outgrown its space. Look at this. Oh, isn't this gorgeous? Let's take a look here and see. Crepe myrtle Natchez. Yeah, that is a gorgeous bloom. Look at that. White with yellow. So pretty. And I love this. I love how the canopy of this is just kind of creating like a little arch where you can walk under. Love it. Isn't that just gorgeous? And these trees are good size. Look at these B&B trees. They're just beautiful. We have one of these crepe myrtles, the lavender crepe myrtles, in our backyard. It's right in the center. Car went by. But we have one of these in our backyard and it is huge. Now I want to find out the name of this. Catawba. God, I hope I'm saying that right. But this is exactly what it looks like. It blooms these beautiful purple lavender blooms and it's just covered, and the bees love it. So here's a view from the backside. We just walked down this way, admiring the beautiful crepe myrtle, panning out, and we still have more to do. Look at these. Now this is striking. This is beautiful. Crepe myrtle, black diamond, red hot. This is amazing. So we've got these burgundy, dark burgundy, almost black leaves, the foliage on this. And then look at these scarlet red blooms. See if you can, let me bring one down so you can see it. Look at that. That is just amazing. Sorry guys, we're right by a major road here, so we're gonna hear cars going by. And we just have this wall of pink. Look at this. I love just walking through and just exploring and just finding new things. Oh, hello. October Glory Maple. That's a 2-inch trunk, and look at the root ball on that thing. Isn't it just spectacular though? All of these trees are just beautiful, and everything in this nursery looks so healthy and lush and green. I mean, just walking through this row, it's just so peaceful and beautiful. And you can't help but notice too, especially when you're out and about shopping for trees, you want something that looks healthy. And look at all of these. Beautiful. And to me, that's the sign of a good nursery. When you see plants that are healthy and happy and thriving, you know that they're taking really good care of them. Because I've gone to a few and they kind of look sad and tired, and you just kind of are like unsure if you really want to buy something from there. But when you're in a place like this, you get a little bit more sense of security knowing that you're getting something that has been well taken care of. All right, so we're finishing up now on the maples and we're coming into the oaks. Look at this. I love just seeing rows and rows of trees. I know I keep saying I want more acreage. This is why. I want one of everything. Look at that. That is very columnar. What do we have here? Slender silhouette sweet gum. I should have known. Isn't that beautiful? I want one of these. I don't know where I'd put it, but I still want one. Look at the dogwoods. Look at that. Look at their leaves. That beautiful dark green. It's an Aurora dogwood. Love it. All of these are just spectacular. And it just goes on and on. Oh wait, let's walk over here real quick. Isn't that interesting? That's a weeping willow. That looks so different. Maybe I'm just so used to seeing them in their mature size, but that just kind of caught me like from the left. Sorry guys, I'm kind of all over the place, but it's just so exciting to look around and see all of the beautiful things. Tulip tree, a poplar tulip tree. Isn't that pretty? That's the thing I love. Look at the leaves on this. They're huge, and they're so unique shaped too. It's almost like someone just kind of cut the tip off of a regular leaf, but it's just beautiful. See something else that caught my eye. October Glory red maple. Yep. Look at that. It's got that little bit of blush going on. Rows and rows of trees. And they all look beautiful. Oh, look at this. God, that burgundy color is stunning. Crimson King Maple. Yes, that is gorgeous. Look at that. Ugh, I just want one of everything, you guys. A magnolia. These are so pretty and I love them. We have somebody in the neighborhood that has a really mature specimen. It's probably 50 feet tall. But the thing with magnolias is they tend to be a little bit messy, even though they look beautiful. They bloom these beautiful white blooms in the spring. They're absolutely gorgeous, but once the blooms start to fade, they kind of get that papery brown look and they just kind of wilt and fall off and plunk to the ground. They create this kind of like mat of just like mushy foliage. It's unattractive, but the tree in itself is gorgeous. Even in the fall, they are great to cut some branches for fall arrangements and winter arrangements because they've got that green on the top, but underneath they've got that brown foliage. So you get like a two-tone stem or plant stem, if you will, in one cutting. And this is what I'm talking about. See how they're these beautiful green, but underneath you've got the brown. And so when you have them in arrangements, you can see like this two-tone and they're gorgeous. And they really add a lot of fall interest, especially with these. Aren't they beautiful? So yeah, if you can get away from like the whole spring blooming thing, you're good to go. And here's actually one that's actually blooming. Look at that. Aren't they gorgeous blooms? We got a bumblebee on there too. Hello, Mr. Bumble. Mr. Bumblebee is just going to town, but aren't these gorgeous? And then just against this glossy green foliage, beautiful. And then you can see how they kind of curl up a little bit. So you do get to see all three colors at once. Beautiful. And look at this. Oh. Deodar cedar. That is just gorgeous. I love that silvery bluish green. And it's soft. You would think it's kind of really prickly the way it looks, but it's actually not. It's very soft, and these are such delicate branches. They kind of just come out laterally and do just this faint little weep. Well, it looks like we've got some hollies over here. These are the Nellie Stevens hollies. These are beautiful too, but they tend to have a little bit of a prickly point. So not a super huge fan of them, but they are gorgeous. They've got these dark, glossy green leaves. And we've got some arbs over here. What have we got going on over here? The green giant arborvitaes. These are very popular in our area because they provide instant privacy and impact. And even when you get the smaller, more immature ones, they grow so fast. And they're just beautiful. This is the big brother of the junior giant arborvitae hedge that we have planted along our north fence line. But the juniors don't get as big as these do. And they look beautiful. See, this is what I mean. Everything just looks so lush and healthy. Sale. That's a 4-letter word every gardener loves to hear. We've got some junipers over here. I love these. These look so good. Blue arrow. Oh, I've been looking for one of these. These are gorgeous and they stay narrow, upwards of 2 feet wide. But I think they get like 6 to 8 feet tall. I'm gonna have to double check my stats, but look at the color of these. They've got this silvery ice blue foliage. They're just gorgeous. These make an excellent specimen tree, or if you have a very narrow space and you want to make a hedge, they're perfect because again, 2 feet wide. Look at that. Oh, you know I can't resist a weeping Alaskan cedar. Yep. So this is what we have in our front yard. We have the green arrow weeping Alaskan cedar, which gets 30 to 40 feet tall, but only 3 to 4 feet wide. The weeping Alaskan cedar gets much bigger than that. It probably ends up anywhere of 50 feet tall, but it could get anywhere from 6 to 8 feet wide at the base with its more mature branching, but it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous tree. Right over here we have a black pine, and this is such a fun tree. I think it's just so beautiful and unique and kind of like frilly and wild in its own way. Look at that. It is just beautiful. I mean, come on, you guys. Look at this. Oregon green pine. This is just beautiful. These are what I tend to drawn to. The weeping trees. What do we got? A Norway spruce? Weeping Norway spruce. Oh, I want one of these in our garden. Actually, I like this one. I like these that tend to be a little bit more slender, but then they've got that wild leader that just kind of curves a little bit. I wouldn't stake this if I had this. I would just kind of let it grow and let it just do its thing, undulate here, there, everywhere, and just see what it ends up being. Much like this one. Look at all of these beautiful trees. Columnar Norway spruce. Yeah, this is right up my alley. I could tuck this in the back easily. Oh, I see the red buds. Look at that. Weeping Eastern Redbud. This looks like a weeping version of the Rising Sun Redbud. And this is the Golden Falls Redbud. This is actually a beautiful specimen too. I have seen these in their mature form, and they are just these beautiful like chartreuse columns. They get 3 to 5 feet wide, 8 to 10 feet tall. They're just beautiful. And I love how these bloom out, much like the Rising Sun Redbud. Their new foliage comes out this like tangerine orange, and then as the leaves age and grow, they get lighter and lighter and lighter and darker and darker. So it's this like whole kaleidoscope ombre effect. Let me check the stats on this. Yep, 8 to 10 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet wide, full sun, hardy in zones 5 through 9. And that's what it looks like. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, let's keep heading. We gotta stop for the thundercloud plums. Oh, these are beautiful. I love that dark red foliage. But look at this. So much more to look at, you guys. We have more crepe myrtles over here. More dogwoods. These are, I think, the Kusa dogwoods. Yep, Kusa Satomi dogwoods. These are so pretty. Rows and rows. More maples. Weeping willow. Oh my gosh. Again, I'm telling you, like for some reason, that image is just not clicking weeping willow. But just look at all of these gorgeous trees. Oh, all of these maples. Ginkgo. Autumn gold ginkgo. This is pretty. The ginkgos are so easy to spot with the shape of their leaves. This is just so beautiful though. I have been told if you're gonna get a ginkgo, try and get the male version because the female version tends to smell a little bit. I've never smelled it, but I have been told if you're gonna try and get a ginkgo, get the males. We've got autumn brilliant service berries over here. Pin oaks. More dogwoods. Let me just stand back and pan. So we literally just went from one end where the fence is, we just walked all the way down. Now let's head into the arborvitae section. Emerald green arborvitaes, this is what we initially had. These look beautiful though. But rows and rows, these are so popular. They have a little bit more of a lush green factor than the green giants. They're a lot more dense and upright. The only thing though, is that they're just not as deer resistant. And if you remember, that's why I swapped out our emerald greens for the junior giants, because I came out one winter and the deer had gotten one of them and chewed it practically all the way down to the ground. And I realized I'm not fighting with Mother Nature. And I discovered the junior giants. Had I known about them before, we would have planted them initially. But again, you know what? The emerald greens are just gorgeous trees. This looks like the DeGroots. Yep, DeGroot Spire arborvitaes. These kind of remind me of a mix of like a emerald green and a green giant, because they've got that dense columnar shape, but they have the color foliage of the green giants. They're not a deep emerald green. Looks like we're heading into our hollies. That's beautiful. Our Hinoki cypress, another magnolia. What have we got going on over here? Ironwood Persian, Vanessa. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Ironwood. Huh. Beautiful tree. There's our Golden Falls redbud. Some more hollies. Some more pines. The white pine. This is just a fun tree. The white pine is so soft. It looks like it would be very prickly and stiff, but it's not at all. It's like feathery. And this is a beautiful, beautiful tree. All of them are. Look at all of these. Let's go check out some Japanese maples. What have we got here? I'm gonna guess Crimson Queen or Temukeyama. Am I right? Am I wrong? Temukeyama. Yep. So I would love to have one of these, but I don't know exactly where I would put it, because they get pretty tall, but they get 8 to 10 feet wide. So while they do stay low, they do like to spread out. They are a pretty moderate grower, so it's not like you couldn't put it somewhere and eventually maybe have to move it, but it's one of these where put it, set it, forget it. They've got beautiful trees. Look at this. Oh, I love it. A weeping Japanese maple. Now that is just striking. And look at the foliage. It's like variegated, like a little bit of white tips all around. I love that. More weeping maples. This looks like it could be a columnar, like a Twombly's. No, I don't have a tag for it. Oh, this one looks the same. Bloodgood. All right. Well, I'm off my game a little bit, but still, it's beautiful. Look at this one. Sukasa Silhouette. Ooh, I like that. That is really pretty. How big does this get? Hardy down to -20. 18 feet tall by 5 feet wide. Part sun, part shade. Average growth rate, deciduous. Oh, that's so pretty. I would love to have one of these trees in our garden, because when you think Japanese maple, you instantly think red foliage all season long. But something like this, where it blooms out that beautiful green in the spring and then in the fall changes to a red, that would be gorgeous. And the fact that it stays so narrow at 5 feet wide, but it can grow 18 feet tall, that's a serious contender for my garden. We've got some smaller Leyland cypress that are on sale, a smaller version of the magnolia, another Hinoki cypress, more hollies. And then right over here, the arbs just continue all the way back down. I'm not gonna walk down there because we walked all the way up and it's pretty much the exact same thing, but we are gonna walk down here because I see rows of Sharons. And a butterfly, you guys. Look at that. Do you see that? Isn't that beautiful? Oh, where'd you go? Oh, she's flying around. Looks like we've got some jasmine over here, which is looking beautiful. I love jasmine. I need to find a trellising system for it in our gardens. Forsythias, Linwood Gold Forsythias. This looks like it's 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. Those are beautiful. Rows and rows. All right, guys, we are rounding the corner. We've got our burning bushes over here, sourwoods, more burning bushes. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Some more forsythias, sonic bloom red weigelas, wine and roses weigelas, kaleidoscope. That's pretty. This reminds me of candy corn. Isn't this just fun though? Just taking some time walking around and just checking everything out. Spirea, look at that. Look at these blooms, they're so cute. Anthony Waterer. Okay. Now we're heading into the roses. All right, let's just stop and slow down. We've got all the knockout roses here. Really pretty colors. Look at these. They're all blooming and budded up. Look at that. Look at all these buds. That's a really pretty yellow rose. I'm still keeping my eye out for the poet's wife, though. Looks like we've got some more roses over here. Drift roses, landscape roses. David Austin's. Oh, hello. Any chance one of you want to be a poet's wife? Ow, dang. Tess of the, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Oh, that's a climber. Are all these climbers? Yeah, I think they're all the same. But they're beautiful. Look at that. Rhododendrons. I'm not a super huge fan, I got to say, of rhododendrons. I think we just grew up with them. My mom had them everywhere. Oh, that's a beautiful tree. Look at that. Okay. Let's do a quick lap in the clearance section because you never know what you're going to find. Drift roses, hollies, some more roses. Not too much. That's a good sign. That's just things flying out the door quick. That looks like a red bud. Eastern red bud. That's nice. All right, coming up, we've got the yews, boxwoods. Do we have a green tower boxwood by any chance? Green tower. Ooh, that's actually the right scale. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that. Look at these. Oh, they're so pretty. Which ones are these? Winter gems? Yep, winter gems. Those are beautiful. Rows and rows of boxwoods. We've got the new gen boxwoods. These are a bit more resistant to like boxwood blight and leaf miner, I believe, from new gen. This is the Freedom. I think they come Freedom, Independence, and Liberty. That's the Freedom. I think they're all Freedom. Oh no, Little Missy? Nope, that's not it. Yeah, but they are supposed to be a lot more resistant to disease and pest issues. Like the boxwood leaf miners that we had to treat all of our boxwoods with. These are supposed to be a little bit more resistant to that. All right, guys, let's head this way. We've got some sky pencil hollies. Our variegated ligustrum, some more hollies, roses. I feel like we may have already come down this aisle, but that's okay. This is a compact holly. It always just looks so green and healthy. Okay, I see some loropetalums over here. Is this crimson fire? Red diamond, mid-sized loropetalum. There's just nothing like loropetalum. I call these everreds. They're actually evergreens because they hold their leaves throughout the winter, but they still maintain some red to them in the winter. You gotta love a yucca. So pretty. Some more hollies. Now we're getting into some cryptomerias, little globe cryptomerias. More hollies, variegated hollies. Dwarf Alberta spruces. We've got the proven winners, Pugster amethyst and Pugster pinkers. This is what we have in our front yard, and they are blooming their heads off, and they smell amazing. All right, we are heading into hydrangeas. Is this the eclipse? Yes. This is the one that we saw before with the black foliage and like the hot fuchsia blooms. They're gorgeous. Here we go. This is what the blooms look like. Aren't they gorgeous? And that dark, dark foliage. I have to have one of these somewhere, but I need a little bit more shade first. We have too much sun, and if I'm not mistaken, these like part sun, part shade. Hardy in zones 5 through 9, 3 to 5 feet tall and wide, and that foliage dark purple. Yeah, look at this. Just amazing against that foliage. Ugh. Some more macrophyllus. All of these beautiful hydrangeas. Oh, I can't wait till our garden has more shade. Oh, we're getting into the oak leaf hydrangeas. Ooh. I've thought about putting one of these in the butterfly garden all the way in the back where the lemony lace are. Gatsby pink, because it would get shade, but it would get a block of sun too. 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. These are just gorgeous. And in the fall, this foliage turns multi-shades of red and orange and yellow. It's beautiful. Look at these. These are gorgeous. Are these limelights? Limelight Prime? Where are we? Limelight Prime. So these are the improved version of the Limelight. They have thicker, sturdier stems, and you can see that they are holding their blooms more upright, because typically like Limelights, their blooms are so big, when they get rained on, they tend to flop. These have got rain on them. You can see the water, but they're still upright. That's great. They're beautiful too. Oh, all of these. Oh. These are the Limelights. These are beautiful too. Look at that, just a sea of hydrangeas. All right guys, let's head into the native plant section. They've got a whole bunch of native plants here. We've got swamp milkweed. This is great. This is what you want for the monarch butterflies to lay their eggs, and then their caterpillars can feed on these. This is exactly what you want. Oh. Swamp milkweed or common milkweed. You don't want the tropical milkweed. We've got southern blue flag over here. Isn't that beautiful? That iris. Oh, I need some of these. Parasol white top asters. Look at these. Look how big these get. And they've got their white blooms at the top. Goat's beard. That's interesting. Some more sedge. We've got our green spice heucheras. That's really pretty. I like that. Coming around the back side of this table, wild spotted geraniums. See the blooms on these. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. How big do these get? Does it say? Does it say? Full sun to shade, hardy in zones 5, 18 to 20 feet, 18 to 24 inches tall and wide. That's a good sized plant, and I love that bloom color. This whole row of geraniums and ferns. Robin's plantain fleabane. That's interesting. It's got like a fuzzy leaf on it. Oh, and look at the blooms. Now we're entering the shade garden. We've got bleeding hearts, pink diamonds. Dicentra, that is just beautiful. Look at the Virginia. That is huge. Look at that. Ripple effect Virginia. That is gorgeous. See, this is why I need shade. I can't grow this in my garden just yet. Meadow rue, baneberry. Look at that. Sun King golden aurelia. That is just gorgeous. And against the ferns, look at that color. Those go so well together. Over here we've got blue fescue grass, our chartreuse, and green sedges. Over here we've got Hakonocloa, or Japanese forest grass, some fountain grasses, just a whole bunch of stuff that I'm absolutely loving. A dwarf pampas grass. That is so pretty. High frequency maiden grass. That is pretty cool. Look at that. The speckles of like cream throughout. Let's check the stats on this one. 6 to 7 feet tall, 2.5 to 3 feet wide. Zone 5. Oop. So it gets pretty tall, but it does stay narrow. I do like that. Look at this, some more maiden grass. This is Scout. We got miscanthus, variegated. That is beautiful. And I love the seed heads on this. Look at that. More variegated grasses. Look at this one, big twister. This is so cute and whimsical. Little blue stem grass. More dwarf fountain grass. That's really pretty too. Feather Falls sedge. Right over here we've got some Tradescantia. This is Amethyst Kiss. This is beautiful. Look at those gorgeous purple blooms with just a tiny little speckle of yellow in there. 12 to 18 inches tall and wide, zones 5 through 9. That is just gorgeous. And planted in mass like this, look at that. It's just like a whole sea of purple flowers. What have we got over here? Spiderwort. Tradescantia Concord grape. That is really unique. I like that. Tradescantia Concord grape, 18 to 24 inches tall and wide, hardy down to -20, full sun, part shade. That's really interesting. . Let's get a close-up of some of these blooms. Look at that. That's so pretty. Dang. Look at that cluster. That is really, really cool. And the foliage on this is like a sagey green. It's got a little bit of like a blue undertone to it. And compared to the Amethyst Kiss, you can see the difference in the foliage color. Those actually look kind of good together. All right, guys, let's head further into the shade garden. I can see some dark side of the moon astilbe. This is beautiful for that dark burgundy foliage. Henny grassland, false spirea. Look at that. That is beautiful. Right next to dark side of the moon. That would be a gorgeous color combination, don't you think? This is beautiful. 16 inches high, 18 inches wide, hardy down to -30, part sun. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous, deep green. And it's got a little bit of like a shine to it, but it does feel a little fuzzy. Over here, we've got some Brunnera. This looks like Jack of Diamonds. Yep, Jack of Diamonds, Brunnera. Look at this. Is that not a gorgeous, gorgeous leaf? I don't know the stats on this though. 14 to 16 inches tall, 28 inches wide, hardy down to zone 3. Wow. That is beautiful. I love that. And the leaves almost feel like a papery, leathery feel. You can hear it. Crested surf, Japanese painted fern. That's so pretty. Look at that. That is beautiful. And then right over here we have a Dryopteris dixiewood, fern Dryopteris dixiewood. That is gorgeous. Again, these pairings together are beautiful. On the other side of the ferns, I see hostas. We've got the Empress Wu hosta from Proven Winners. This thing gets huge, 48 inches tall, 60 to 72 inches wide. Wow, that thing is a beast. Earth Angel hostas. Is this Miss America? Miss America variegated hosta. Isn't that just beautiful? And this has a bloom stalk on it, you guys. Get ready for this. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? But mostly hostas are grown for their foliage, and we can see why. Look at this. It's just absolutely striking. Sum and Substance hosta, a beautiful chartreuse hosta. Absolutely gorgeous. 4 feet high, 6 feet wide. Wow. That'll brighten up any spot. All right, guys, we've got more heucheras over here. Midnight Rose, Champagne. This is beautiful. Look at that. I love it. This just looks like autumn to me. Black Forest Cake. Is this it? Wow. Look how dark that foliage is. That's a beautiful pairing. I love that. And then over here we've got Northern Exposure Silver. That is a really pretty, pretty color. I love that. But my eye is being drawn to guacamole. What a fun name, but look at this, you guys. Oh my gosh. Talk about day glow. And I bet you this, next to the Black Forest Cake, or even Midnight Rose, isn't that gorgeous? Guacamole. Absolutely loving this one. How big do you get guacamole? 12 to 24 inches tall and wide, hardy in zones 4 through 9. I'm gonna have to put this on my bucket list for when we get more shade. And this is what it looks like in bloom. Well, coming out of bloom. Isn't it beautiful? So we've got more hostas all throughout here. Coast to coast hostas. The touch of class. Just so many. And more heucheras. This is obsidian. Gorgeous. Northern exposure more. Northern exposure red. Northern exposure sienna. Just striking. Citronelle. Wow, this is another one. That is beautiful. Okay, let's swing over here. We've got some lungwort, some pulmonaria, which I absolutely love. This is twinkle toes. Isn't that beautiful? I love the blooms on this. It's like a blue with a little bit of a pink to it. 10 to 14 inches tall, 16 to 18 inches wide, zones 3 through 9, shade. Yeah, I'm not ready for you yet. But just so many different varieties. Trevi Fountain, Raspberry Splash with that raspberry pink bloom. Oh, Barrenwort, Sandy Claus. I don't think I've ever seen this, but it's prickly. We've got lobelia, some hardy geraniums. This is Carmina. This is beautiful. Look at the blooms on that. Carmina. 6 to 12 inches tall and wide, zones 5 through 8, bloom spring through summer, full sun. This I could actually do. We've got a bunch of coreopsis over here. Oh, this is a really sweet one. Moonbeam. That is beautiful. That just perfect buttery lemon yellow bloom. I like that. And up here we've got our phlox, helianthus, Delosperma moon. Can't even talk. Delosperma moonstone white. That is so sweet. Look at these. They're beautiful. 4 inches tall, 8 inches wide. Full sun, zone 4. That is just the sweetest thing. Over here we've got some alliums. This is lavender bubbles. We've got millennium over here. Some Nephophia or red hot poker. This is glow stick. A complete yellow bloom. It is gorgeous. We have more coreopsis over here. And over here it looks like we've got some daylilies. Day yellow. That is so pretty. That's a beautiful color. Pink South Seas. Wow, that is gorgeous. Oh, we're coming into the iris. I need some Siberian iris. What is this? Japanese water iris. That'll work. Variegated. I love that. Look at that bloom. None of these are in bloom right now, you guys, so I can't show you, but look at that. That is gorgeous. Over here we've got bearded iris. This is autumn circus. Temple bells. Look at Valentino. Isn't that gorgeous? That almost kind of looks like a chocolatey brown. And you guys, I just want to pan on some of these hibiscus. This is the evening rose hibiscus from Proven Winners. This is a dinner plate hibiscus. Look at the size of these blooms. Compared to my hand, look at that. Oh my goodness. And against this dark burgundy and green speckled foliage. That is just a striking, striking bloom. This is French vanilla hibiscus. Isn't that just beautiful? And look at all the buds on this plant. This thing is ready to explode. But these blooms are huge. All right, guys, let's head into the greenhouse and take a quick look around. They are doing a little education seminar in one of the back corners, so we're gonna stay away from that area, but we do have quite a bit to look at in here. All right, so let's just walk in here. It's a little noisy because they've got the fans going, but you can see all of the vinca. Look how gorgeous this all is. It is just lit up over here. Look at that. Right over here, we've got some ground covers. We've got Pachysandra, Carex, Liriope, Pennsylvania sedge, dwarf mondo grass, which is just absolutely adorable. Some variegated Liriope, black mondo grass, creeping Jenny, black ajuga. Look at that. This is black scallop. That is gorgeous. This is bronze ajuga. I want to know what this one is. Burgundy glow. Wow. Mix those together. That is just gorgeous. Chocolate chip ajuga. We've got some sedums. Again, it is a little noisy in here because the fans are going. They've got fans lined all along each side of the greenhouse to keep the air circulating. So that's what we're hearing. Citronella. This is so pretty. I've grown this before. It does, when you actually rub the leaves, it does smell. It smells really pretty, kind of lemony. I just got to pan this table of vinca because it's just lit up. Reds, purples, pinks, corals. Over here we're in our vegetables now. We've got some squash, some red bell peppers, green peppers, tomatoes. Tomatoes went flying out the door. Cosmos, dichondra. That's beautiful. An assortment of herbs, chive, sage. Look at these. These are beautiful. What is this? Colocasia waikiki. Well, aloha to you. Say hello to the wax begonia sea. Look at all of these, you guys. Oh my gosh, they are gorgeous. In corals with these burgundy leaves. I am in heaven. Look at this. The dark leaves against the white foliage. That is gorgeous. Bronze leaf white. Well, okay. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, and they've got a pink one too. Let's check it out real quick. This is probably just bronze leaf pink. But these are just gorgeous. I would put these together in an arrangement. Oop. There we go. Opposite the begonias, we have strawberries, parsley, some aloe, basil, lemongrass. Beautiful. All right, it's getting loud in here. We're right under the fans. We've got our petunias. That's a really pretty white with a yellow center. And now our coleus. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at all of these. Dragon wing begonias. These are beautiful. And look at this color, this like coral pink. We've got another one with white blooms. So pretty. Okay, what is this? Please have a tag, please have a tag. Bossa Nova Yellow Begonia. I have never seen this before. This is beautiful. Look at these blooms. They're like weeping, they're drooping. They remind me of hellebores. But just look at that. That is gorgeous. Bossa Nova Yellow Begonia. Oh my, yeah. That's another one definitely on my list. Bossa Nova Night Fever Papaya. Oh, you guys. Look at that corally pink bloom. Nova Rose. You guys, check this out. Look at the blooms on that. Bossa Nova Orange. Oh, look at that. Persian Shield. That is so beautiful. Angelonia. I like that. Serenita Raspberry. That is beautiful. We got some Euphorbia, Dusty Miller, and a wishbone flower. Look how pretty that is. All right, guys, I want to do a quick walkthrough inside and then we'll wrap it up. Let's walk in here real quick. You can see we've got all of our tools in here, hoses, gardening stakes, hand trowels, etc. Fertilizers. And then as we walk back in here, we've got all of our potting soils, Espoma, potting mix, African violet, orchid, Hoffman, just so many different varieties, so many things to choose from. Biotone starter fertilizer is a must. And we'll just pan around real quick. Our insecticides and everything, our fungicides. Ooh. Look at this. That is beautiful. Love that. We've got some shepherd's hooks, some casters, bird baths. And then we'll make our way into the greenhouse. Again, they've got the fans going, so it is a little bit loud in here, but let's just take a quick look real quick. We've got all of our cactus over here. Look at all of these. Oh, I've got one of these barrel cactuses. Oh, look at this. Look how tiny these are. The echeverias, look. But yeah, so many different things to choose from. Sansevieras. I love the barrel cactus. Look at these. Aren't they gorgeous? Over here we've got our pothos. That is a beautiful hanging basket pothos. Look at that. We've got our string of hearts variegated. Look how beautiful that is. Our assorted Tradescantia, aloe veras, Algerian ivy, ponytail palms, ficus, just all of these beautiful plants in here. Look at these ferns, you guys. Look at the size of these ferns and look how healthy they are. I don't see a singed or crispy leaf anywhere. Wow, that is gorgeous. And just a bunch of them hanging. And we've got our pottery down here. So pretty. That's a pretty color. Our terracotta strawberry pots. terracotta saucers, more saucers. We're coming under the fans again, guys, sorry. We've got more ceramic pots in a wide variety of colors and shapes. These are really pretty. I like the shape of these. Pygmy date palm, this I actually like. This looks beautiful. Look at the size of these sansevieras. I'm panning over here because we've got more pottery along this wall and more of these gorgeous ferns. We just came down the back walkway here and we're making our way through the other side. Dracaena, bicolor, beautiful. Alpina ginger, variegated. Calatheas. I have a love-hate relationship with them. Night owl sansevieria. That is so unique. I don't think I've ever seen a white Dracaena. That is beautiful. Oh my. Some more pothos. Onion bulb, ponytail palms, the whalefin sansevierias, red Valentine aglaonema, that is beautiful. Painted lady philodendron, another striking plant. We've got our Swiss cheese plants over there. Starfish snake plant. Wow, there's just so much to look at here, you guys. We have another wall that continues with more pottery, more ceramics. Just beautiful. Mauricio Verde Philodendron. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But this is in the Proven Winners Leaf Joy collection. That is gorgeous. Look at that. Living Lace Divana. Another gorgeous one. Just all of this. Klingon Samantha Ficus. We have one of these at the house. Just beautiful, you guys. All of these. Shimmering Falls Silver Splash. Look at that leaf. It's beautiful. Let me hold it up so you can see. It's trailing. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, and look at this. We've got some hardscapes over here. Some bird bath stands, some bird baths. Yin and yang bird bath. I like that. Spiral bird bath. That's interesting. Where is this from? Massarelli's. That's kind of cool. And you can see the top. That is really pretty. We have more statuaries over here. We've got some dogs, sweet blessings, seals, an owl, elephants. Just a whole bunch of beautiful statues. That is really pretty. Angel with dove. Isn't that beautiful? And you guys, I didn't show you this earlier. There was a customer here, so I didn't want to get them in the frame, but look at this fiddle leaf fig. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the size of that thing. Gorgeous. And you guys, I just want to give you one last panoramic view of this nursery so you can kind of get the scale of what I'm looking at, because this place is so massive. There's so many different plants and trees and shrubs, perennials, annuals, houseplants. There's just so much to see. I could literally spend all day just walking up and down each aisle and taking it all in and just getting my cup of motivation and inspiration filled. Look at this. Absolutely amazing. And you guys, that is it for our tour today. What a fun day just to be able to come out and just walk around, take our time, and just look at all the beautiful plants and trees and shrubs. Hopefully get some inspiration and motivation. I know I got a whole bunch, and I saw a whole bunch of plants that I didn't even know about, so I'm excited to try them. Some of them are shade, so I do have to wait until our gardens get a little bit more shade, but it's just fun to kind of start that list early, even if it is a couple years ahead of time. And that way, when we're ready to transition from sun to shade, we have our list ready to go. And I just love days like this because it is, when it's really hot out, especially when it's hot and humid, the last thing you want to do is just go out into your garden, and even just the littlest things like just watering, you end up soaking wet. I'm literally sitting here talking to you guys and I am starting to sweat because the humidity is so high. I think we're at 85% humidity today. We are overcast, which thankfully that is cooling it down and keeping it somewhat in check, but that humidity is relentless. Even with the sun out, you can't go under a shade tree and cool off because it's humidity. It's just gonna find you wherever you go. But this was just such a fun day to just walk around, take our time, and just look at so many beautiful things. And again, I love going to nursery centers where the plants and the trees and everything look so healthy. To me, that's just an extra sign that whatever you purchase, you're getting quality plants that were very well taken care of and will hopefully thrive in your gardens. And you guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys got a lot of inspiration out of it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.